Hello and welcome to a new episode of Scottish Football Matters. Tonight's episode will be focusing on the Scotland game tonight, the World Cup Qualifier against Belarus, and we'll have a wee look at the way the other leagues in Scotland are shaping up from the Championship through to League Two, and that's about it for tonight. Well, it'll be a quick one, obviously, because we're going to try and watch the game as well. So we'll see how this pod goes. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Yep. Still a decent result the other night. 0-0. We didn't miss anything from the end of the pod. But it's a good result away to Denmark, innit? You wanted to get a point at least. And tonight's the big one. You really need to win. I mean,
Oh,
at
definitely.
the start of the group, you always felt 6 points off Belarus was needed. If you can get a point on the road to Denmark and Greece and win your home game, then you get through. It's simple as that. So, you know, one down, five to go. Sorry, so tonight's huge.
Yeah,
But what do you think of the team then? The four changes. I can understand them. I'll go through them myself, my thoughts
hmm
anyway. I
yeah,
can understand Hanley out, McKenna in, or just on the grounds that I don't think this will be a back to the wall job, and that's where Hanley's good. If this is more of a football job,
hmm
McKenna's a better passer of the ball and can sort of play the ball into midfield a bit quicker.
yeah,
I think Hickey out, Johnston in, purely down to just, the boy hasn't played for nearly 2 years, so we need to manage his minutes. We want him to be available for the Greece games and the bigger games. So I can completely understand that one. Billy Gilmer out in the midfield, I think makes sense because without being harsh, I thought Christie was poor the other night. Gilmore's
yeah.
just a better footballer on the ball. The rest of it looks like for me it will be more of a I think it looks more like a 4-1-4-1.
Mhm.
So I'd
Um,
say Gilmore sitting and then McGinn right, Doak left,
yeah.
then Ferguson and McTominay try to get as close to Adams as possible.
I'm glad he's playing
Uh,
Doak. I'm glad Doak's getting a game, but I thought he would have actually played Kieran Bowie from the start in this one.
yeah, again, I think it's more he'll be an impact sub, I think. But I mean, he seems to like Dyke and he likes Hurst as well, so you don't even know if he will be an impact sub because
You're probably right. He'll probably bring on Dykes. Yeah,
he's probably fourth choice in terms of the strikers under Steve Clark. But no, I think we'll win. I don't think it'll be pretty. I think I'm going to go. I'm, I'm on and on between 1-0 and 2-0. I'm going to say 2-0. I'm going to say it's McTominay and no, McTominay twice. No, I'll go
Ah,
McTominay double. I think we might even get a penalty or something. I could see that. I
right. Well,
don't
I'm
think
I'm
we're
going to
going to.
I'm going to go one more than that. I'm going to go. Well, I'm going to push the boat out. I'm going to say that they'll win 3-0, and I think Billy Gilmore will score. I think Doak will score,
Yeah,
uh, and I think McTominay will score. There you go.
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's obviously about 45 minutes away from kick-off, so that
hmm
should be a good one. But as we sort of touched on it, the international break is a good time to touch on the other leagues and kind of go through and see how they're doing and
hmm
just to see everyone's thoughts. So if we want run through the table quickly, then we can just sort of have a wee discussion about it. So obviously, it's a real difficult one at the moment because some teams have played 4 games, 5 games. It's not always the
Yeah.
fairest reflection because
Because they're not
obviously
level on games. Yeah.
there's been some games get cancelled for the internationals, and then like Alloa in League One, they played against Rangers in the League Cup a round later. So a lot
Yeah.
of the games in that league. So I'll run through it. There's Championship though. You've got St Johnstone top with 10 points. Rafe just behind the same 10 points as well.
hmm
You've also got Arbroath on 10 points, but Rafe and Arbroath have played a game more.
Yeah.
You've got Partick on 7, Dunfermline on 5, Morton 4, Ayr 3,
Three.
Queen's Park 3, Airdrie 2, and bottom of the league, Ross County with 2. So
Looking bad for Ross County in the minute, innit? It's looking bad so
yeah,
far.
my initial thoughts are that uh, I'm worried for Airdrie in Queen's Park. They could I think they'll stay down there. I think Ross County will get out of that. I don't know that Ross County will do enough to get up into like the playoffs or win it.
hmm
But I just think, look at Airdrie, and I think my manager left into it at the start of the season, Reece McCabe.
Yeah.
And I just look at the squads around them, like the area have got good players. Morton, they're obviously really sad circumstances with the manager to be in there, but sometimes in tragedy it kind of pulls teams together, and you can see them really fighting for him. And I think they'll be fine. Dunfermline have got a good manager in Neil Lennon. Partick are always good. Do you know what I mean? And
Hopefully,
it's a surprise package.
Well, up to now they're looking at. Hopefully, United can get good as well.
They've been a wee bit yo-yo from, I think about 4 years ago they were right in a title race in the Championship and they were unlucky not to go up. But since then they've kind of been fighting relegation, got relegated. But sometimes that's a good thing to get relegated because maybe it sharpens their style of football and they're playing some good stuff.
They are,
I've seen maybe highlights of a few of their games, and I think one of their games were on, and I think they look decent, tidy team.
They've been on the BBC on a Friday night. One of their games, two of their games maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen one, and I've seen the Race Dunfermline game a few weeks back. But if I'm being honest, if I was to do a mental prediction after 4 or 5 games, I probably expect St Johnstone to win that league. I think the 3 playoff teams will be Partick, Dunfermline and Ayr, and I think Queen's Park will get relegated and Airdrie will be playoff. You get any thoughts? How do you see it?
St Johnstone probably will win the league. I think it will be in the playoffs. I think it will be a United or both in Partick. I think they'll get in. Somehow they'll sneak in. And relegation, I don't know. Because obviously, possibly Airdrie. But Ross, I'd expect Ross County to get out of that, so I'll go stick with Airdrie. I think Airdrie will get relegated. I think the playoff will probably be Morton. Playoff at the back.
Yep. So on to League One, you've got Queen of the South at the top, just ahead of Alloa, who have played a game left. Then you've got
Steny,
Inverness, Hamilton, East Fife. I mean, I think it's looking quite good. I mean, Cove Rangers are at the bottom on 2, Celtic just above them, Montrose. I mean, it's a tough week. It's a tough one to predict, but if I'm honest, I feel like Alloa will win it. I actually think Inverness and Hamilton will be around the playoffs. I just don't think. I think they're.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hamilton are pretty bad at the minute. I mean, they're going through a lot of troubles.
Considering the troubles, if you know what I mean. And that maybe says more about the teams around them. But yeah, I think Hamilton and Inverness will be around the playoffs. And I've got to admit, I think it'll be Montrose and Cove at the bottom. I think Kelty will be all right. Kelty's maybe just had some tough games, but they're an all right. They're a kind of League One team. And I think League Two. Oh, sorry, who do you fancy for League One to win it?
For League One to win it, I'll probably go with. I think Queen of the South should be strong enough in that division. I think the playoffs will be Alloa, Hamilton. They probably will sneak in, and I'll say East Fife.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but you've got to predict something, haven't you?
And obviously, League Two, I think East Kilbride's going to win this. I think.
Hopefully,
they're a great example of why we need this Lowland League and Highland League to not have to play each other to get a playoff to play the bottom team. This needs to be Highland League in, Lowland League in, get the 2 of them in, and get the 2 bottom ones out. Because having this, like, you finish bottom of the table and it's just terrible. And you
I know.
To play a team
so stupid. It's so stupid.
The champion plays a champion, and the winner of that gets to play a team that, I mean, it looks like Edinburgh City. They're already in -5 because of all the problems. So I expect they'll stay there.
Yeah.
But I want East Kilbride to go. I mean, I don't see them maybe doing a Livingston Gretna type that will go all the way to the Championship. But I do think they will, but it won't be season after season. I could see them getting up this year, 5th or 6th the next year, then into the playoffs, maybe get up. And I think I'd be very surprised, right, if East Kilbride's not in the championship within 5 years.
Yeah, they should be.
In the championship and competing as well.
They're to me, they're like the Scottish version of Wrexham. They're doing quite well.
It's nice, and as I said, I mean, with all the problems going at teams like Hamilton and Inverness, and then Clyde and Dumbarton have had their problems, haven't they? And they're the two teams I look at in League Two and go, they're big teams, like in terms of Scottish football, but they've had so much problems that I don't see them getting out of League Two.
Plus, their manager, the East Kilbride manager, went to school with me. I know him personally, so I'm hoping they do win and they do well. Mick Kennedy, he was at school with me, so yeah, I know Mick very well. So good luck to him and East Kilbride. I want them to do well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think that it's a really good example of why we should use the pyramid system so much better. And
oh, definitely.
There's some good. I mean, do you remember it was like? And I don't want to use them as a bad example, but East Stirling were like bottom of that league for like 3 years in a row, and got a combined top points total of about 10, and they still weren't getting relegated. And you're just like, what's the point? I know eventually they did, but
yeah,
it was laughable, wasn't it? I mean, if you finish bottom of your league, you should be doing no matter what.
You should be relegated. Yep, you should be.
Yeah. But I wasn't really going to touch on that this week, but obviously the explosion, shall we call it statement wars?
Yeah, Statementgate. Statementgate.
I have to say, I thought the Celtic fan statement was fine. We touched on that. But I have to say, I'll let you do most of the talking on this one because it's your club, but I thought that was one of the worst statements I've ever seen. And it was 1,000 words of dribble.
It was awful. It was awful.
It was like it was written by, a teenager.
Yeah, it was, to me, it looked as if it was brought in by somebody's obviously done it through Chat GPT or something like that, because it just looks like an AI scripted statement.
But what other club, and don't make me stick it down, but what other club puts out a statement and no one signs it? It's not like board of directors, chief executive. It was unsigned. That just shows you how pathetic it was.
Oh, it was poor. Really poor.
My takeaway from it was that it was just a case of nothing to see here. We are not to blame. It's the media's fault for showing transfer window updates. It's fan media for criticising us. It's UEFA's fault for not letting us spend what we want. And by the way, at least we're no Rangers.
I don't know if you've
the takeaway that I got, and I was just like, that had nothing to do with Rangers. Don't even the fans don't. I mean, and I'm not speaking for Rangers. Rangers fans are laughing at it, but a Celtic fan must be fuming at that because you're like, this has nothing to do with Rangers. This is about Celtic. Don't start telling us that. At least we're not going to go out of business. Like, I mean, that was 12, 13 years ago. Come on, we're over it.
I know that. Yeah.
And it's not even like it's the same Rangers like chairman or board of directors, and you feel you can be a wee dig. What are the Americans going to think of that? They're just going to go, man.
I don't know if you've seen the thing, the wee kind of video doing the rounds. It's like Jonathan Watson for Only an Excuse, and he's doing like I can't remember if it was it Michael Kelly or something that he's trying to portray in the video, but it's kind of very relevant to now. It's like he comes out and he says the statement reads as follows. It says, "Go away. It's not our fault. We're just custodians. Give us money." That's what he says in it. It's quite funny. But that's obviously to do with the previous trouble that Celtic had back in the 90s. But
do you not find it though as a fan pretty embarrassing and just almost like this is not how your club should be run? And the fact is, I'm actually glad that it's happening when you are top of the league because then it doesn't seem like we're only moaning because we're losing.
Oh no, Celtic. If I'm honest, Celtic. If we win a game, and there's bad decisions in a game, we'll talk about the bad decisions. We'll not just talk about it and moan about it if we lose. They do it when they win as well. If you watch enough Celtic podcasts like I do, so they still moan about it. I know you don't. But
I just feel that it's good that they're pointing these out so it doesn't look like they're just being sore losers, if you get what I mean. I know, because at least we did it before you were out of Europe. There was a lot of this in the first leg against Kairat. I mean, there's no reason that Celtic couldn't have turned that round anyway. But my only take on it really is that if, and it's a massive if Hearts, Hibs, Rangers do get their act together, they could really get a title race this year because Celtic,
I know,
no one's pulling in the same direction.
Yep.
And we all know where that leads.
And then with they made a bombshell. They made a bombshell there a couple of days ago as well. Obviously, yeah.
I can't blame him. I mean, if he had, I mean, because you worry these things can be lost in translations when it's local media in Japan. You never know exactly how.
Sounds as if.
But if he's been promised that he can go, if in Celtic will find a replacement, and then he's telling him, "Oh, we didn't find a replacement," he'd be like, "Well, did you even look?"
Exactly, because there's no excuse for that. There's absolutely no excuse. And apparently, once away in January.
Apparently, am I going to find a replacement? Because they could have replaced Diogo in about 18 months.
Apparently, he wants away in January, Murray. He wants away in January. That's what I've heard.
You can't blame him.
I know, but
at least he's the sort of player. I can't imagine his performances. I mean, I think his performances have dipped in terms of just the finishing, but his effort in that hasn't dipped. So
I was wanting another season at him. I was wanting this season at him, and then he could have left at the end of the season. But if he's going to go in January, then fair enough if he goes.
I know it's not this year, but it's very reminiscent of like the last year that Rangers won the league with the COVID year.
I know.
Edward
quite spooky that.
They were kind of staying on when they shouldn't have, and they wanted to leave.
That's right. It's as if they've came to the end of their cycle, and they don't leave.
I'm not saying that they down tools, but when the going got tough, shall we say, as in when Rangers were playing well, I'm not sure we gave it their all. Now, I think the players will give it their all while they're on top, but let's just say, and I know this might not happen, but if Celtic were to go out of the League Cup or something like bombshell, like go out to Partick and lose to Hibs or something with Kelly,
unthinkable. I couldn't imagine that.
That whole fan base could completely implode.
Well, of course, and rightly so.
Because I've seen it at Rangers many times. When it's that bad off the pitch, it does filter on the pitch. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, remember Rangers were the year they did go into liquidation. Rangers were by far and away the best team that year. By far and away. I think we were about 17, not that much, but 15 points clear at one point. And everything
That's right.
started to tickle away. All the rumours were happening about the October, November time. Everyone was like, there's bad things happening in the background.
And then Celtic won the New Year derby. Celtic won the New Year. Joe Ledley scored.
Even before Christmas, you seen redraw. I think we could redraws the Inverness, and I think we had one at Motherwell and that, and we were just like, something's not right. Or, do you know what I mean? And I felt McCoy's tried his best to handle it, and I'm sure Brendan will too, but there's no way you can stop this when it's like an avalanche of negativity. And then we all seen what happened after that, and a fire sale in the January win it, and then obviously the points deduction and all of that malarkey. That won't happen. I'm saying this, but what you don't want is the players to down tool and then you sell them, you don't replace them because your squad's not that good right now.
Because every time we sell a player and don't replace them, the squad just gets weaker and weaker and weaker.
And what I would say now is I used to always say this, I know it's a bad thing to say, but Rangers fans used to always look at Celtic and go, right, okay, if McGregor got a wee injury or Carter Vickers or Maeda, and last season I always kind of felt like, it wouldn't have made a difference because he's had great strength and depth.
That's right.
But if you've lost those three for any sort of a month each, I could see your form going right off a cliff because I don't see Uyghur anymore.
We've lost Johnston. Johnston's. I know Ralston's a decent backup, but maybe for a couple of games. I know, maybe for a couple of games, but no for like 3 or 4 months. I don't even know.
Obviously, we'll talk on the weekend games on the next pod, which will be a bit more of a preview and prediction of the weekend's games. I know we've got a few good ones. Obviously, the standout tie is obviously Rangers Hearts. Just come on, Celtic, it's a big game as well, obviously. But I just think given Hearts have an opportunity to go 9 points ahead of Rangers. And I do remember something similar last year when Aberdeen had that opportunity, and they actually took it, but then fell off a cliff.
They certainly did. They just capitulated.
But I've never. I don't. I think it's mad to think that you're in a must-win territory, but that's the Martin.
But you're talking about Hearts and Hibs and all that this season. The same thing could happen to Hearts or Hibs. They could capitulate, fall off a cliff, and then their challenge is completely gone.
What I would say though is, I absolutely agree with you, but I just don't think this is a strong Celtic, which is why I think that
I don't think it is.
Up everyone's opportunity to actually drop points and still be in a title race.
Possibility. But last season,
winning 30 games this year. Put it that way.
The whole argument about Aberdeen last year. Aberdeen weren't in Europe last year either, though, and they fell off a cliff. They didn't have any European football. Whereas Hearts are the same this season. They don't have any European football, but will they stay the course? We'll need to find out. We'll need to wait and see.
If you look at Celtic's form in that first half of last season, it was brilliant.
It was great.
Now, if Celtic had been anything like this version, where you can actually see that it's falling apart, even though the results haven't quite trickled down, they're not playing good football, whereas last season they came out on fire. So the fact that Aberdeen even stayed with them, like, see, if it was like this, Aberdeen could have been 5 or 6 clear.
Probably should have been at one point.
And that might be different, if you get what I mean. That's why I think what I'm saying is, I don't think a team would need to fall off a cliff to still, do you know what I mean? I think Celtic, Rangers, both of them, in fact definitely Rangers, will be extremely lucky to win 30 games.
That's how bad Aberdeen were last season. Aberdeen should have been good enough to finish second, and Rangers still finished second, no matter how good a start Aberdeen had. I still think the same will happen this season. If Celtic are going to win the league, the team that will finish second will be Rangers. It will be.
Yeah, but I genuinely think, though, that going into the December, I think there'll be about 5 to 7 points between 4 teams.
Well, that's a big month, isn't it? It's the one with all the games. That's the pure.
Yeah, I just get the feeling that you're going to, especially when you've maybe got a cup final in there, and obviously
pure mammoth month of football. That one,
I think you're playing at 9 games, don't you? Especially when
something like that in so many days. It's so many 9 games in 18 days or something. 18 days or something.
It's crazy, but you need. That's what you need big squads for, and I suppose that's what I'm saying about Celtic is if they did get injuries around December and they're not able to bring players in till January.
They'll need to strengthen in January. It's an absolute certainty now. They'll need to do it.
I don't think Rangers' squad is very good, but it's quite big though.
Is
that we could get maybe 4 or 5 injuries and it might not be the end of the world. It might be a drop off in quality, but no, I think we'll sort of leave it there, and we'll obviously pick back up on Friday with preview and predictions of the weekend. As we said, Kilmarnock Celtic's the Sunday game, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, get the real football back at the weekend.
Rangers Kelly on the start. Sorry, Rangers Hearts on the Saturday. I'll need to look through the other 4 games, but I think there'll be some big games, and Aberdeen really need to start getting some points on the board.
Oh, they will have to, aye.
Especially with a positive end to the transfer window, like player-wise. Like, if they don't follow up that boost they're bringing in, Nisbet, Carlson, and Armstrong.
Yeah, aye.
If they go and lose the next game, the fans will come.
Oh, they will, and Jimmy Tilley will be under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, especially
even though he won the cup, they'll still be under pressure.
Remember when Ranieri won a league for Leicester and got sacked 3 months later?
Aye.
Van Bronckhorst got Rangers to the Europa League final and was sacked by November.
That's right.
What happens in May means nothing in August.
Of course, but fans have got short memories. Fans have got short memories.
So do boards. But right, I'll speak to you on Friday. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll obviously pick up more on the domestic stuff.
Yeah, you too, mate. Right, cheers. Thanks again.
Bye.
Right. Bye bye.